Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian and today I'm going to be showing you how to use AI in Quiverflow to find your leads or contacts possible state, possible country, and even possible gender and nationality without asking for these details in a form, just like this one here that we're looking at. It's a very long form. A lot of people might be discouraged from filling it out, and most lead gen marketing campaigns, they usually try to make very simple forms to fill out to increase the number of leads that they get. And because this form has so many fields to fill out, a lot of people will pass it off and not fill it out. So you end up losing leads. So I'm going to show you how to find the possible state of residence based on the phone number. So we're going to remove state, and then same for country. Possible country of residence based on the phone number, country code, and area code, and possible gender based on the first name, so remove gender, and then also possible nationality based on the full name. So we remove these fields, and now we have a very simple form. A lot of people will fill it out very easily. They already have this kind of information in their browser's autofill function. So you end up generating more leads because it's so simple. So I'm going to save it here. And then once you have the form ready to go, you want to go to the automation section of the CRM, and then you go to create a new workflow from scratch. So then we see here, let's dismiss. I'll just call it find possible state, country, and more. I'll just leave it as that. And then the trigger will be the form that we just created. Keep in mind that there's also an option for Facebook forms if you connected your Facebook business profile to the CRM, the ad account. And same for TikTok and LinkedIn forms. But in this case, I'll just do the form that we created in the CRM. So form is, I'm going to select form number 1, which is the one I just created and updated. And then save trigger. And then I'll just save the workflow as for good habit. And then the first action is going to be the first GPT prompt. So I'm going to look for the module GPT powered by OpenAI. And then I'll just call it, for admin purposes, possible state. And I'll use the cheapest model. We don't need the more advanced models from ChatGPT. Action type is custom. And then I'm going to copy and paste a prompt here that I have ready to go. Find the state of the following phone and reply with just the state name without quotation marks. So this is going to prevent ChatGPT from writing a whole sentence, and sometimes it replies with quote marks. So it's going to return just the state or province name. And then at the end, we click this tag icon here, and then contact and phone number. So it's going to print the phone number that the person filled out in this field from the form. And then we have our first GPT prompt ready to go. And then what we can do is just copy it for country. Now we have GPT prompt number 2. I'll call it possible country. And then the prompt is very similar, and it also uses the contact phone number. So I'll leave it there and paste the other prompt. Find the country of the following phone, blah, blah, blah. And then the contact phone number. This one is ready to go. And now we copy this one for gender. So number 3 is going to be for possible gender. And then I also have another prompt here. And in this prompt, I ask ChatGPT to only reply with either male, female, or unknown. And then after, at the end, I'm going to print the person's first name. And yeah, third GPT prompt is ready to go. And then we'll copy it for possible nationality. Very few people are interested in finding nationality, but this can help some campaigns find out more about their demographics. So I'm going to replace this one with this, find possible nationality, and then in this one, we're going to make it print the full name. So it's going to use the full name to find the possible nationality of this new lead that filled out your form. So now we have the 4 prompts ready to go. We're going to save. And then we have the automation is going to get triggered by the form, and then it's going to send these prompts, and GPT is going to return a response to us. So now we got to tell the automation where to save these responses. So the first one is state. So let's do state. The action will be update field, add field, and then we look for state here. And then in the state field, we're gonna click the tag icon here to print the GPT response 1, GPT response number 1. So whatever state or province GPT returns to us is gonna get saved to the contact record state field. And then we would do the same for country, but the thing is, countries in the CRM is a drop-down, and it doesn't let you merge the data from the ChatGPT response. So what we got to do first is if-else conditional logic here. And then we're going to create our first branch. Let's call it, I'll call the conditional logic country. No, the first one is state. State. And then, oh no, this one is, we're doing country now. Yeah, so country, GPT number 2. And then let's say you're running campaigns only in Canada and the US. So I'm gonna call this branch Canada. And the condition for this branch to be triggered will be GPT response number 2 here, country, contains, and then we type Canada. And then next branch is gonna be US, and the GPT response number 2 contains United States. So now we have the 2 branches recreated and a third branch in case none of the conditions for these 2 are met. So I'll continue here in the Canadian branch, GPT response number 2 for country. And then we're gonna now we can update the field, but we do it hard-coded. So we go here, country is Canada. So we're gonna tell the CRM to just select Canada from the drop-down. I'll just call this country Canada. And then I'll just copy it here to the US branch. But the drop-down will select United States. Okay, so we are updating the state. So this one is state or province. And then we save the GPT response 1 for state. We save GPT response 2 for country. And then the next one will be possible gender. So gender is also a drop-down, so we got to do the same. So we do if-else conditional logic. I'll call this one gender. And then the first branch will be male because the GPT prompt will asks for the response to be either male, female, or unknown. So we're gonna go here to GPT, response number 3 contains, let's do male. Let's add the second branch for female. And then we find here the condition for this branch will be gender in the GPT response contains female. And then the third branch will be unknown. And then GPT response number 3 contains unknown. So we created our 3 branches here, and then I'll just continue. Let me just save. It's a good habit. There's no chance of losing progress. The first action for the male branch will be to update field. And then we find the gender field, gender, and we make it the automation select male from the dropdown. And then I'll just call it possible gender male. Okay, and then I'll just copy it here for female. Female, select female from the dropdown, copy it to unknown. Oops, do it again. Unknown, and then drop down is unknown. So now, yeah, we saved the state, country, and possible gender, and then the last one is nationality, possible nationality. So I'll just continue here from the male branch. Nationality is easier because it's a free-form text field, so any character is allowed. So we're just gonna update contact field. I'll call it possible nationality, and we're gonna save it to the nationality field. You can create custom fields for nationality and possible nationality, but to keep things simple here, number possible nationality is the GPT prompt 4, and we're gonna make it, the automation save the response in the nationality field of the contact record. So now it's all ready to go for Canada and mail. So I'm gonna create some go-to modules here. So if it's US, we gotta make it go to the gender step. So we don't need to create another branch for the US. It can just go from, let me see if I can select. You can see the line here. After it saves the US in the country field, it goes now to the branches of gender. And then same for female. So we can do a go-to, and we'll go to nationality, and then unknown, go to, and then, so they will all run the same way. They're all gonna, after it saves female, it goes to save the possible nationality from GPT response number 4. So now you can go ahead and save your workflow. This is very simple. It can get more complicated if you want to check if you already have that data in the contact record, but I'm gonna leave it out from this tutorial for now. And then let me just turn it on and then we'll test it. So let me preview the form. We're gonna test it here with some data that I never used. Oh, do a random phone number, 788, I don't know, 3300, random number, and then submit. The submission is complete. So if we go here to contact records, let's see. Yeah, the contact record was just created. And the automation already finished, I think. So it already selected male, possible nationality Spanish. And then if we scroll down here, yeah, state, British Columbia, because the phone number is 604. And then country, Canada. So it ran perfectly as expected. And it automatically found my time zone based on the IP address that submitted the form. And if you go here to the workflow logs, you can see here the test that I ran already finished. It finishes almost immediately. The API is very fast. And then you can see the steps here. So add it to workflow, it sends the prompt to ChatGPT. And then we can see here the response that it got back. Possible state, British Columbia, possible province or state. GPT, possible country, it returned Canada, and then possible gender, male, and then possible nationality, Spanish. So yeah, this is ready to go, very simple. And it gets more complicated if you want to avoid overwriting existing data. So let's say this is an existing contact record and you already have this information filled in. You don't want to overwrite it. You don't want to waste money on ChatGPT prompts that you don't need to do. So it gets more complicated, but I'll leave it out for this video. And I can help you guys if you need help replicating this or doing the better version that avoids overwriting data. So yeah, thank you so much and have a good day.